Once upon a time in the ancient city of Babylon, there was a very important man named Daniel. He wasn't born in Babylon. He was from Judah, a land far away. But while living in Babylon, he became famous all over the city because of his brains and his good character. Many people respected him, especially King Darius. He thought Daniel was one of the best men around. He believed in Daniel's honesty and intelligence. So much so that he wanted Daniel to become the most important leader in the whole country. Now this didn't make everyone happy. Some other important men who wanted the highest position to be theirs got really angry when they heard about this. They were jealous of Daniel and wanted him to get into trouble. For a long time, they tried to trick Daniel into doing something wrong so they could use it against him. They tried tempting him by offering him nice things and positions of power. But Daniel was a good man. He was honest, didn't take bribes, and served his God faithfully. He also refused to do evil things, even if they would help him advance in life. Because of this, these jealous men couldn't find anything bad that he had done or any reason to accuse him of something he hadn't done. So they had to come up with a clever but evil plan. One day, those cunning men went to King Darius and started talking about how great the king was and how he should be worshipped like a god. They said, "Oh, great King Darius, you are so powerful and strong. You deserve to be treated like the most important god. You sit on the throne of the kingdom, and only you have the right to receive worship." The king was flattered by their words, and he enjoyed being praised. Then the jealous men continued and said, "King Darius, we know how much you love and respect Daniel, but we want you to do something that will show how much you are admired. Make a law that says for 30 days, nobody in the whole kingdom can pray to any god or person except you, not even the king's servants. Anyone who breaks this law will be thrown into a pit full of hungry lions." The king listened carefully to what they were saying, and since he liked the idea of being considered a god, he signed the law. As soon as the law was made, Daniel heard about it and was troubled in his heart. This law conflicted with his duty to God. He couldn't stop praying 3 times a day, asking God for guidance, just like he had always done. But now, if he kept praying to God, he would break the law and might be put into the lion's den. However, Daniel didn't let his fear overcome him. He went home and spent time with his family. They probably worried about him, but he didn't tell them anything. Then he went to his room, knelt down and prayed to God as usual, asking him to watch over him during this difficult time. Daniel trusted that God would guide and protect him, just like he had always done before. After that, he closed the window and lay down to rest. Now, unbeknownst to him, those jealous men who had asked the king to make that law were spying outside his house. They had hidden themselves near his window, waiting for him to pray again so they could catch him breaking the law. When they saw Daniel lying down as if he were asleep, they went inside his house. They quietly opened the window and climbed in. They crept into his room and found him on his knees praying to God. The next day, they rushed to the king and said, "Your Majesty, Daniel has broken the law that you made. He's still praying to his God instead of you, even though you are the king and deserve to be treated like a god." King Darius felt sad. He really liked Daniel and didn't want to punish him, but he also couldn't go against the law because that would make him seem weak and break his word. So with a heavy heart, he decided to follow the law. He gave an order to throw Daniel into a pit filled with hungry lions. When Daniel heard that, he knew it was because of his prayers. He wasn't afraid because he trusted in God. The men took him to the pit, threw him into the dark hole, covered it with rocks, and left. Daniel was in a deep pit, surrounded by hungry lions. All alone in the dark, he could hear the lions roaring. But he knew God would protect him because he had trusted in him and remained faithful to his prayers. Now that night, the king couldn't sleep because he was thinking about Daniel and wondering if the lions had eaten him. In the morning, he went quickly to the pit where Daniel had been thrown. As the sun rose, he shouted into the pit, "Daniel, servant of the living God, did your God, whom you trust so much, come and rescue you from the lions?" Then a voice came back from the bottom of the pit. The voice said, "Oh, my God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight." The king was so happy to hear that. He immediately ordered the soldiers to open the pit. As they removed the rocks, the king looked down and saw that Daniel was fine. There was not a single mark or scratch on him, and the lions were quiet and calm, as if they had fallen asleep. Later, when Daniel was taken out of the lion's den and stood before the king, all the people rejoiced and praised God. The king was very happy because Daniel had trusted in his God and had not turned away from praying to him. He realized that there was no other God to be feared, and he gave orders to spread the message throughout his land. The message said, "The God of Daniel is the true God in heaven. He is all-powerful, and his kingdom will never end, and he saves those who trust in him." This way, everyone in the kingdom knew that Daniel's God is the only true God. So the king gave Daniel a very high position in the kingdom and rewarded him for his faithfulness to God. Those jealous men who had caused Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den were punished because they had lied to the king and wanted to harm an innocent man. Daniel became one of the most important leaders in the kingdom, helping the people and guiding the king. This story teaches us that when we truly believe in God and trust in his promises, he will protect us no matter what difficulties or dangers we face. We shouldn't let fear or other people's opinions stop us from serving God and praying to him. And if we stay faithful, God will honor us and bless us. No one will be able to harm us if we trust in God. Dear God, like Daniel, we want to trust in you and follow you wholeheartedly. Help us to remain steadfast in our faith, not to be afraid when faced with challenges, and to continue praying to you, knowing that you will always protect us. Amen. We've come to the end of today's story. If you liked this Bible story and it brought you joy, encouragement, or taught you something new, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on any of our Bible videos. Also, you can share your thoughts, experiences, or any Bible verses that inspire you in the comments section below. We value your participation and can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.